Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
2 weeks with the UAW contract coming to an end. Everyone wondering now, will workers be carrying their lunch to work or what you see here, carrying picket signs? Good to have you with us here on The Noon. I'm Jason Colthorpe.
And I'm Kim DeGiulio. With just days left until the UAW contract with automakers expires, UAW President Shawn Fain expected to give an address. That's going to be on Facebook Live tonight at 6 o'clock.
Which is where he has been updating the UAW faithful about what's going on with these negotiations. He's expected to talk about current contract negotiations with the automakers. As Rod Maloney reports, this comes less than a week after UAW members voted to authorize a strike.
And, you know, this is something that they did a practice picket. Was that last week, I believe? So it's something that we've kind of been anticipating here, talking to you about. All three negotiations are expected to wrap up by September 14th. But Fain is willing to wield his best weapon, the threat of a strike, while making unprecedented demands for things like a 40% pay raise, cutting out tiered categories before reaching top pay and 32-hour work weeks.
Now here's Rod.
Couple of weeks may sound like a lot of time, but in the UAW contract world, it is a short blip because they're negotiating not only the national contract, but also all of the local contracts. And so everybody knows they need to get down to business, especially if they want to avoid a strike. And Shawn Fain said that inasmuch in his Facebook program earlier this week.
We expect all three to bargain with us and all three to be done by September 14th. Things could always shift in bargaining. If something miraculous happened with one of the companies, it could change. But the way our stance right now is, and has been all along, we want contracts by September 14th with all three. So if the other two companies or two companies choose to wait on somebody else, they're going to be real disappointed come September 14th.
Still, he's perfectly willing to wield his best weapon, the threat of a strike, while making unprecedented demands for things like a 40% pay raise, cutting out tiered categories before reaching top pay, and a 32-hour work week. Where the companies will give remains the big question, but it's clear they can't give on everything. Wayne State University union expert Dr. Merrick Master says they will find a middle at some point, and a strike would prove very costly, especially if Fain strikes all three companies at the same time, which the industry deeply fears could happen.
I think the last thing in the world they need at this point in time is actually a strike, because that will make it harder for them to come to terms that are satisfactory to both sides, and they can make them want to go forward together, realizing that they're in this boat together and they've got to sink or swim.
So tonight at 6 p.m., Shawn Fain back on Facebook, where he is expected to talk about the progress of these talks. We'll keep an eye on it for you. In Detroit, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, Rod. A Metro Detroit man is accused of robbing a Livonia bank this week before being caught with his 4-year-old son in his car, according to federal court documents. FBI officials say 28-year-old William Isaiah Devon Davis robbed a Comerica Bank branch on 5 Mile Road near Merriman on Tuesday. He's also accused of using a firearm during a crime of violence. If convicted, he faces up to 20 years in federal prison for the bank robbery charge and up to 5 years for the gun charge.
Developing this noon, Ann Arbor police have a suspect now in custody for several home break-ins. 3 of the 6 break-ins were on Catherine Street and 1 on North State. The other 2 were on Prospect Street and Dewey Avenue. Police arrested a 58-year-old Ann Arbor man in connection to a domestic assault and another break-in. Police are still investigating this and ask anybody who has information on this case to call the Ann Arbor Police tip line. The snapshot of Metro Detroit's economic outlook is pretty rough, even for many of those who have a job, but there is hope now on the horizon.
A new report from U of M predicts the unemployment rate will fall below 6% by the year 2027. However, of those who have a job, only 36% earn a living wage. Researchers say some factors could be education levels, the specific jobs, and the number of hours that they're getting. The Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge is showing more signs of slowing price increases. The slowing inflation also raises the likelihood that the Fed will leave interest rates unchanged when it meets in late September. The report of the Commerce Department showed prices rose just 0.2% from June to July. Compared to a year earlier, prices rose 3.3% in July, up from a 3% annual increase in June. At least 73 people are dead and over 50 people are injured after a 5-story building fire in Johannesburg.
Emergency crews reporting the building was abandoned and being used by homeless people. 7 of the victims here were children, with the youngest of them a 1-year-old. Many who escaped say it all happened so quickly.
Listen, people they make noise. Yeah, it's fire, 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 fire. When I'm wake up, I just see in the gate, I see the fire. Yeah, the smoke is coming to me. Yeah, after that, I just fall down. Then, from there, I don't know anything until now.
The death toll here expected to rise as emergency services find more people who were trapped under the debris. The cause of this fire still remains unknown.
Holy f***, that car's flying! What the?
Look at that video. This is just some of the destruction from Idalia, which is now a tropical storm, flooding, tornadoes, which is what caused this car to go flying across the road there. That was in South Carolina. Down trees, all of that showing up throughout the southeast.
I like how on the video it said, "Don't mind me, LOL." It's not funny, it's crazy. But now President Biden is reassuring residents devastated by Idalia that help is on the way. And the Federal Emergency Management Agency has resources at the ready to respond to those in need. NBC's Bree Jackson is in Washington.
The Biden administration says that it has more than 1,500 federal responders in the areas hit by Idalia. And President Biden said he directed the head of FEMA to travel to Florida and to meet with Governor DeSantis. Hurricane Idalia tore through parts of the southeast, leaving flooding and damage behind. President Biden promising to help.
We're going to be there for whatever they need.
The president spoke with the governors of the impacted states, including Florida's Ron DeSantis, who is running to replace Biden in 2024.
There's a lot to do, but I think the quick response is helping everybody get back on their feet.
FEMA's administrator will be on the ground in Florida today to help assess the damage.
It's far too early to even estimate what the cost is. It's still unsafe in many parts to even go out.
Recently, DeSantis and other Republicans accused the Biden administration of being too slow in its response to the Maui wildfires. President Biden pledging the federal government's full support for Hawaii, Florida, and other states.
My God, how can we not respond to these needs? And so I'm confident, even though there's a lot of talk from some of our friends up on the Hill about the cost, we got to do it. This is the United States of America.
The Biden administration is also working with state and local officials in Georgia and the Carolinas. Red Cross volunteers from across the country are heading to impacted communities.
They'll see the very large Red Cross vehicle coming through their streets. They'll know that it's a beacon of hope.
Officials urge Americans to remain vigilant as severe weather continues. And the Biden administration is also warning of an increase in severe weather events. During his remarks on Wednesday, President Biden said there's no denying the climate crisis and discussed efforts his administration is taking to address that issue. In Washington, Bree Jackson, back to you.
Breaking this noon, former President Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty in the Georgia election interference case. He had been scheduled to be arraigned in person on Wednesday, but he waived that appearance and decided to enter a formal plea through court filings. His arraignment marks the 4th time Mr. Trump has pleaded not guilty to criminal charges since leaving the presidency.
Well, have you been outside today?
Not since it was very
3 a.m.
chilly.
Yeah, because
I have not
it was
been.
very cold this morning. We were outside this morning, but I just got a quick little walk outside, and it is gorgeous, Ashley.
The out the weather report out the window looks phenomenal. Yeah.
Well, the way you sold that, Jason might not be here till 12:30. He might be out the door during the forecast.
See you, bud.
Yeah, we do have really beautiful conditions out there, as you see, stretching into the Great Lakes region. Clear skies, so sunshine has helped warm us up, but we certainly are still looking at the remnants of Idalia, and it's still tropical storm status as of the 11 a.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center. So sustained winds at 60 miles per hour with the gusts a little stronger than that at 70 miles per hour. But the eye of the system now off into the Atlantic, so we're starting to see improvement along the eastern seaboard, but there are still flood conditions that we'll be contending with for days, given just the amount of rain that was dumped over the region. No rain in sight in our forecast. In fact, we have very clear skies out there, crystal clear blue skies to take in at this lunch hour. Beautiful shot of our skyline. We sit at 68 degrees, so we knew we'd be just shy of 70 at the lunch hour, but we're going to get there this afternoon. 66 in Howell, 65 in Pontiac, and 66 in Adrian. Very light, kind of east-northeasterly breeze out there. So we'll hold on to the sun throughout the afternoon, topping out right around 73 degrees. I'm going to give you a quick peek, though, of this Labor Day weekend forecast because we're cranking up the heat. We'll be in the low 90s. We'll talk about how long we stay there coming up in just a few minutes.